Investor Town Hall's headquarters in San Diego, California. I'm your host, Daniel Wong. On today's program, we have back on CEO of SAKL Productions, Richard Surber. Richard, thanks so much for taking the time to join us again today.
Hey, it's good to be back, Daniel.
Well, Richard, since we last spoke with you, you've had quite a bit go on. You've had some recent press releases regarding the new events that have happened. Will you share with us a little bit about those recent successful events you've had?
Well, I mean, the most successful event was Philadelphia. We sold out two nights. We started with the one, sold out the first, sold out the second. Just a massive event. Highly successful, great weather, very happy participants. Between the two nights, 20,000 participants. So I'm not going to say that anywhere else, but Investor Town Hall, because I don't think we want the competition really seeing that. But hopefully, just investors are watching this. So. Well, 20,000 participants.
That's great for the investors. So everyone listening, 20,000. I mean, they're absolutely knocking these events out of the park here. And you actually have quite a few other venues you're going to be introducing to us, especially rolling out for the next 6 months. We've got summer coming in. It's hot. Tell us about some of the Slide the City events and how you're going to finish out the year.
Well, I mean, one of our franchisees just opened up in Macau, which is, 40 miles east of Hong Kong. So, and that's being done on the Fisherman's Wharf that's there. They're putting it on an 18-foot ramp, and there's a summer-like festival field that's happening over the course of, I believe, up to maybe 4 or 5 days. So that should be a tremendously successful Slide the City event. As a matter of fact, anytime we've held, Slide the City in any of the Asian countries, we've had, record turnout. I mean, the model is a little bit different there because the entities that fund that are usually large sponsors. So, I mean, one of the biggest names that are sponsoring this Macau event is the Bank of China. So, pretty exciting to be able to be, on the same billing as the Bank of China. So,
those are definitely some big name sponsors, especially I think when it comes to the Asian countries and China. Even the movie market's very big, so events are very big. People love to get out of the house and go out, especially in highly densely populated areas. They like to get out and really go have some fun out there. So it's great to see you're expanding into those other markets there.
Yep, and that's what we're taking a cue from with regard to future markets in North America as well. We want to get into those densely populated markets where you can host, a 2 or 3 day event. Hopefully, maybe dovetail into some of the great festivals that are occurring. So there's a lot more to do for the participants other than just Slide the City. So it becomes much more attractive for participants and from a revenue generation and cost savings perspective with regard to operating Slide the City.
I could definitely see some of these in some of those large music venues out there, especially when it's, hot out in the desert. Indio comes to mind, some of those ones. I'm sure with summer, people want to get out there and try something new. So, I mean, what a great idea.
Absolutely. So music is a perfect pairing with almost all of our events. So
definitely. So what are some other events, though, that are coming out in the U.S. that you'd like to highlight for us?
I mean, Norfolk, which is small in Nebraska, that's the next Slide the City that's coming out. We've only hosted one so far, which is in Reno. And there's about, I think, 15 additional Slide the Cities coming up. The model is a little bit different this year. Most of the cities we're going to are, college town, and either the city or college or private institutions have sponsored the event, which covers basically all the costs. Then we're able to generally sell tickets on top of it. So some of those venues that we're coming to aren't even listed on our websites because we're putting them on for large private institutions. So that's what's happening with Slide the City. Some really exciting stuff happening with regard to LaternFest coming up later in the year.
Well, we'll definitely look forward to those, and for everyone out there that's interested in joining those events, there is more information on thelanternfest.com, slidethecity.com, and you can go to their Facebook page, and they have quite a bit of information there for you as well, especially news on the company. Speaking of news, you have had some recent releases. Last time we talked, you did talk about becoming fully reporting, getting those audits done. Can you give us an update on that?
We have completed and paid for the 2016 audit reports. So there's only one piece remaining to get that registration statement out, which is the first quarter review, and the team is working, hard and fast in order to get that first quarter review out so we can include that in the registration statement and get it filed. But 2016 is done. So, but
well, congrats on that. I think sometimes people underestimate the amount of time and effort it does to get that done, and definitely getting a fully reporting status is important, I think, for investors and for people you work with. So again, congratulations on that.
Thanks, Daniel.
So other than that, though, let's talk about some of your growth strategies that the company has going forward. I know you're always looking for complementing companies and ways to improve your top line growth. Share with us a little bit about that, please.
Well, I mean, the biggest shift, is strategic. Before we get into the acquisition sort of piece, and the strategy is, to find these larger venues in the densely populated areas that can sell out. So we have LaternFest up there. One of the more successful venues this year is going to be our venue in Poconos, and it looks like we will have that Saturday sold out probably within the next month. So we're going to open up Sunday, and that venue has a extremely high capacity. As a matter of fact, that Saturday at Poconos will be the largest single event that we've ever held for LaternFest. Salt Lake City was the biggest one year to date, but Poconos is going to surpass that particular venue. So kind of dovetailing into that, as well, we're going to be we're just opening Houston with regard to the LaternFest, and LaternFest is going to Washington, D.C. as well, which we think is going to be a smashing success. So that's the strategic portion that I think is going to drive, growth. In addition, is the acquisition piece, and that's how we, essentially doubled the size of this company going on 2 years ago. And I think that we're going to be on solid footing to really start exploring, other potential profitable experiential events, that can exponentially grow, the size of the company and create some efficiencies and economies of scale when we do those combinations.
Definitely, and those are catching on as far as those events go and increasing in popularity. Talking about growth, we just had up on the screen your recent stock chart there. We can definitely see a correlation, I think, between the events and when there's more people going to those events, that now you can start to see more eyeballs are getting on it. You've seen some appreciation actually in the price per share here fairly recently, and we're looking forward to the other events that occur here this year and hopefully keep seeing that trend upward.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of, I have, of course, the benefit of seeing the back end, a lot of the social media platforms that we have. And if you, if your investors were, potential shareholders and listeners were able to see what I see, like the Facebook page for Sack Lunch Productions over the last 30 days, I think, we're pushing, close to 1 million impressions at this point. And if you look at the event Facebook pages, I mean, there's millions of people that are seeing those at this point. So I think my job is to let all these participants and everybody out there, in the news media, make them aware that Sack Lunch Productions is the parent company to each one of these great brands that's going to touch, millions of people. I mean, if everything works out the way we hope to, we're going to have close to 250,000 participants just in LaternFest alone.
That is amazing, and I think it's very important for people to know. It is important to get the word out there, and especially when you're in the OTC, it's tough. So the fact that you are really going out there and helping to improve that shareholder value, helping to get the story out to everyone, that's just fantastic. Richard, I think that's about all the time we have for today, but I want to thank you so much for coming back on. We're definitely going to have you on again next time to share some updates. Some of the events have gone on, and hopefully you'll be moving forward as fully reporting status when we talk next.
That's what we're planning on. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you. All right, folks. Well, that was Richard Surber, CEO of Sack Lunch Productions, trading on the OTC markets underneath the ticker symbol SAKL. You can find more information on the company at the company page, sacklunchproductions.com. More events at thelanternfest.com and slidethecity.com. Thanks so much for joining us. Tune in next time. Stay tuned for the next interviews here on InvestorTownHall.com. Also, make sure to join a stock board to start the discussion and get your voice heard.